Hi, it's DerpyBoons99. Today we're going to do episode 3 of Pure Vanilla, and this is a starting tutorial of Banished with no mods, and let's carry on. Alright, let's just start with a bit of an overview here and see where we're at. Just going to adjust things here. So in our town hall, our food graph is going up at the moment, which is good. Overview of people, we have 90 people. 4.5 hearts, 4.5 stars, so our health is decent and our happiness is decent. And we're a bit behind on housing. It says we need 4 more houses, but we're building a bunch. Also building a trading port here too. And I see they're out of stone, so go around and mark a bit more stone for pickup here. We're also putting in a quarry over here. So I think what we'll do is we'll prioritize that. We have a fair amount of laborers right now, so let's build that and get a bunch of people in there. Okay, looks like we have all the material for the quarry, which is good. Okay, this forest node's doing pretty good down here. 4 people in the gatherer, 4 in the forester. We could actually turn the hunter on. We have the people for it, and a little extra meat and leather wouldn't hurt. I think I just want 2 people in there. Alright, quarry, let's build here. And we should probably put a few more people in these markets too. Maybe just 1 each for now. Okay, our quarry built. Now, do we have a market up here yet? Not yet, okay. Now we have 21 people, so let's leave, say, 6 builders. We're pretty much right out of stone. So I'm going to go with actually 10 people in here. And the stone limit I'm going to make, I'm going to say 500 for now. Okay, we got 3 houses building there. All right. A builder was killed by a rock. Nice. So we're going to need a bunch more houses down here. Now, with 10 people in there, that's at least 5 houses. We only have, well, 3 and 1 being built. So let's let these ones build. But once those have built, the next houses we add, we'll add them down by the quarry there. Hey, Grace, how you doing? So I don't know, I'd maybe give you a quick overview of the town here. So there was a bunch of people the other day dropping in to see, well, a bunch. There was a few people the other day dropping in to say what this game was like and was for sale for cheap. So I decided to go back to vanilla here and do a bit of a short let's play tutorial kind of thing. So basically we started here on an easy start. We had cows and we had wheat and corn. And, put that stuff in, and then came up pretty quick and built a forest node here. And the next expansion was a tunnel down here, another forest node, a bit of a market here. The back's not great. I just came back from a bunch of x-rays and stuff, so I got to go see the doctor next week and see what the results are. But he's talking about this and that and the other thing, so he wants to do some diagnosis work first, but yeah, I can live with it right now. I just can't I can't golf right now, which is one of my hobbies, and my walk in the morning, I do a 2-mile walk in the morning. I've had to shorten that up a bit just because of pain and stuff. So many people have it worse than I do. It's just more or less, it's just I'd say it's a pain in the ass, but that's just a little bit south. But thank you for asking. All right, we are building a trading port, and at the moment, the only thing we can really trade is firewood. And I overbuilt the choppers just for that reason. So I don't know. Let's put in 600, and yeah, you know what? Let's put the full 1,000 in, and we'll just have to be careful when we trade. And I think I'm only going to put one trader in for now. Balance that out a bit better. So one thing you'll never see me do is trade food. I will not sell food. It's just not something that I would do. Right, our second mine is built. So the idea here, I think, is this one over here is doing iron with 5 people. And I'm just going to put 2 people in here and put this on coal. And the plan is to switch to steel tools, but we don't have any coal right now, so I'm going to let that accumulate because we can only really afford 2 miners. It's going to take a while, so let's let that run. We have a nice big stockpile there, so that'll be fine. Okay, we're getting a bit of stone now between the quarry and the ground stuff we collected. What have you been playing lately, Grace? You're still doing your Fallout 4? Yeah, still short a house or 2 here. These guys have to build yet. Okay. I think we'll build the school and the market up top there too. Yeah. You know, I gotta say, I liked 3 a lot. 4, for whatever reason, I just couldn't get into. I don't know why. I should go back one day and try it again. Looks like we got a bit of a break up here. So we're going to see if we can fix that. Always good to have a nap. I'm going to let this last house build. I think we might have too many, but heck, all the materials there. I think the other thing I might do here, don't have a ton of stone, but this really needs to be a stone road here up to where the traders are. No power tool here. All right, let's just check our town hall, see where we're at here. Yeah, I would say the food's leveling a bit, so we'll have to add some fairly quickly here. Housing, yeah, we're overbuilt, it says. And that looks like a breakup, so probably accurate. But let's just see if we can fix that. Yeah, the map type is valleys large, but the climate unfair. Disasters off. Just didn't really want that to screw up the tutorial. And starting conditions are easy, which I think most people should try when they first start. So I'm just trying to demonstrate some things like how to get I think the objective here is to get to around 300 people or something like that. And just show the concepts of food, fuel, tools, and how to do expansions. And by expansions, I mean like new areas centered on a marketplace with a school and some houses. Probably should put another stockpile in up here too. And still have too many people or too many houses, I think. So I'm going to try one more time to straighten this out. And if not, I'll leave it for a bit. Yeah. Oh, this is why I like the mods too, because the valley maps to me have a few too many mountains to them. It is an interesting style of play though, where you pick your spots and sort of expand into different pockets and valleys and stuff like that. And you get to build tunnels, which is always cool. Okay, that's finally a legit couple there, so that's okay. We have a little bit of coal, so I'm going to switch over to steel. Now, the idea of steel tools is they last roughly twice as long as an iron tool. So you should make your tools go farther before the tools wear out and they have to be replaced. And if you play modded, there's, 8 or 10 different tool types, but the basic concept is the more expensive tools are to make, the longer they last. All right, we got our first trader, and it's a food merchant. And we don't really need food at the moment. So I'm going to send this on its way. But I think our food graph is starting to go down. So one thing I have not built yet is fishing docks. So let's look around the map. And what we want is places that we can add a fishing dock sort of on a point or promontory that maximizes the amount of water that's in the yellow circle. So something like that's not terrible. And what you want with a fishing dock is you want storage nearby and houses nearby. So those houses aren't all that close, but sort of close enough for the moment. So let's build a fishing dock there, even out the builders and the laborers. And I think there's another spot up here. So we have a few houses here. We could add another house to the forest node. There's storage here. And this point here is pretty much a perfect fishing dock. So yeah, that gets a lot of water in there. So let's build another fishing dock there. And yeah, I think they're working on the stone roads right now. So I'm just going to make this a dirt road for the moment. And I think what we might do is plunk another house in here. Now, 6 houses in a forest node is about max for what I'd want to put in there. And the other thing we could put in, well, we're at full health here, but let's put in a herbalist too. If I can remember where they are. All right, so we'll put one herbalist in. Not going to prioritize that. I think what I do want to prioritize though is this fishing dock in that house. Yeah, in hindsight, maybe I could have bought some food, but I think we're going to be okay. This will produce a bit more once we get a few more trees in there. Now, what I do want to do, we built over here and to put our quarry in and stuff, but there's a huge chunk of land here. So we can build down and over and then down. and put, I think it's like a city center in here, and then a whole bunch of farms and orchards and stuff like that. So let's maybe get working on that. So let's figure where a road would come down. Okay, something like that. And then now this is just to kind of square things off. Nobody will actually use those roads very much. But I just want to get an idea of where to do stuff here. So I am going to lay in a few fields here. So I was using 12 by 10s before, but I think we'll just go to 11 by 11s here. Okay, so I think what I want to do is two 11 by 11s. And I bring another road down like that. And I'm just doing some of this stuff so I can sort of figure out where to put the marketplace. Everybody will come up with their own way of laying out towns and stuff. The main concept is that you have a marketplace with a school and a bunch of houses as your town center. So, and then how you do it beyond that's up to you. Hopefully you'll see in a minute what I'm up to here. All right, and we probably should have a stockpile here for the let's put a big stockpile, say 10 by 8. So the quarry should have a stockpile already. Probably isn't one very close over here. So I kind of broke my own storage rules there. I should have built the quarry sooner by the stockpile by the quarry sooner. Anyways, right, that house is built. Our fishing dock is built. So let's get 4 people in there. And our food's at 5,000, so we're not in dire straits just yet, but I think we're probably approaching if we look at our graph here. Yeah, that's overall level, which is usually bad. That means if you're level or going down, you're not doing what you should be doing, which is increasing your food supply. All right, market, you can do it. You can build. Hey, our housing, we're still in about the right spot. A little low on logs, I would say. Stone and iron look good. Coats are okay. Tools are okay. Food's okay-ish. Okay. Now we only have 3 houses up here, so I'm just going to put 1 person in the market for the moment. And let's get our school built here. Yeah, a little late on school. We already have students here. So those students are going to be walking all the way down here to this school here, which is pretty far. So we'll be losing a few years of their lives while they spend extra time walking back and forth to school. Like I was saying before, travel time really matters in this game. So, you know, houses by work, houses by markets, houses by schools, all help. All right, there we got squash seeds. Our firewood supply is pretty good, so we can trade 625. And we have squash. Okay, cool. Now let's set up our hotkeys here. I've got this set to Z or Z. The trading area here, let's make that X. And let's put a school teacher in while we're up here. All right, so if that's Z, the other one's X. Let's make this area C. So we got Z, X, C. And this area down here can be V. Okay, so probably we should prioritize this stockpile. So the laborers that are going to clear these fields will have a place to put all this stuff. So stockpile first. Okay. Now, we ran out of laborers there briefly, which is very bad. So we must have had some old age fatalities, but we have school teachers, so we don't want this to run out. So let me say that a better way. If a school teacher dies, their replacement comes out of the laborer pool. If there's no laborers, there'll be no teacher, and all the students will leave the school prematurely and kind of waste the whole thing, the whole effort. So make sure you have spare laborers. All right, looks like our other fishing dock is built here. We don't really have the people for it right now. So I'm just going to let it operate. So we did assign 4 people, so they'll split up, and 2 will work this one and 2 will work that one. And when we have more people, we can add another 4 into the fishing team. All right, now we have nomads here. Yeah, we have a market, we have a trading port, and we have a town hall. So you'll get nomads periodically. Now our food supply is going down, but we have 4,200 in stock. And let's see how many nomads, 1 in 12. Okay, I wouldn't recommend this as a beginner, because what they're going to do is they'll come in uneducated. There's a chance they'll bring disease, and they're going to use food and tools, and our food supply is going down right now. So I think normally if I was playing, I would probably take these and try and cope with it just to get the extra people. But in this particular case, I wouldn't take these. So I wouldn't take nomads until you have a hospital and you have a good supply of food, solid supply of tools and resources. And you'll take a bit of a productivity hit, but you'll have more people. So definitely a two-edged sword. In this particular case, because we don't have a hospital yet and our food supplies are decreasing, I'm going to say no. Had to talk myself into that one because usually I would take nomads. What the nomad mechanic is basically there for is if you have a bunch of disasters and lose a bunch of people, you can accept nomads to help you reestablish your town. All right, this stockpile needs to build here, guys. There we go. So I've built in sort of, crop field, orchard, orchard. Oop, yeah. So there's 6 fields there. And what I'm going to do is I want to put a marketplace down here, but I want to leave room for double row of housing. So I'm going to do this, put 2 houses in, then I'm going to lay the marketplace in. And I think I want it oriented like that. I'm going to pause the marketplace. Okay, I'm going to put another stockpile down here. 8x4. I'm actually going to prioritize that stockpile because that'll help all the build here. That stockpile, and let's go 3 and 3 on builders and stuff here. Okay, let's hit X and check our. Okay, it says we're 4 short on houses. Our food graph is still going down though. Well, let's put 2 more fishermen in. Okay, we have a trader. Iron tools. Now we don't want that. So here's something you can do with traders. If you click the order tab, this shows what they might bring. And if you don't put specific orders in, it'll be random. Now what you can do is there's a choice here of just once or every visit. And I'm going to order log and stone and iron on every visit. Now you'll pay a premium. I think it's a 50% premium. But those are pretty critical resources. And so I set it up this way. So every time this boat will bring those 3 resources. And if you're low on those things, you can buy some. Okay? Or you can just let it go at, never and take your chances on what you get. So let's do that. I don't want any iron tools. I'll just let you go. And there's different type of traders that show up at a trading port. So it'd be seed traders, livestock traders, food traders, general goods, all that kind of stuff. And if you get into mods, there's all kinds of different trading dogs. All right. So is this building down here? This has built. Okay. Let's see if we can get these 2 houses. Actually, we needed a bunch more houses, 3 or 4. So let's actually see if we can get this. It'll take a while for these to build because it's a bit of a travel time, but. And once these build, we'll get the market going, a school going. And this will give us a nucleus for a farming community down here. And we can put a whole bunch of farms and orchards in. Now, we don't have actually any seeds for the orchard yet, but we'll have to work on that with the trader. Okay, but a couple more laborers just graduate there, so I'm going to actually put them in as fishermen. Okay, so that maxes out those 2 fishing docks. Kind of clean up the interface here. How are our cattle doing here? A little bit of leather and some beef, cool. Now this is what I was saying earlier about pastures. That's not a ton of food for the space and everything. So I wouldn't rely on pastures to save the day. This field here, for example, you get 750 to 800 out of that with 1 person. So that's way better food production. More reliable too. All right. Yeah, these can take a while to build here. I've got all these roads and everything set up. Let's see if we can keep mindlessly prioritizing this. It gives me something to do. And there's one house with the material, so we're getting there. Okay, I'm gonna want to put a school in here too. Not gonna build the school just yet, but I just want to put it in there so I don't forget it. Okay, one house is built, which is good. And we have a young couple in there. See if we can get the other ones to build here. Logs are okay. Stone's really good right now. Yeah, food is a concern, so need to get this farming community going here. Just put lots of sugar in it and get you buzzing, Grace. This herbalist hasn't built yet, but I'm not fussed because our health is still 5 hearts. All right, this trader's got. Okay, that's the one we set up for every visit. It brought stone and iron, and right now we're okay on those, so I'll just let this guy go. Right at the moment, I'd be more interested in buying logs, I think. To that note, though, yeah, leave it alone. Okay, another house is built down here. Yeah, stone cutters are taking the houses. That's because we didn't build enough houses here. That's fair enough, I guess. The game will assign people um, to houses as close to their job as possible. And every once in a while it goes through and sort of tries to juggle it all out. So in this case, I didn't have enough houses by the quarry here. So if you add houses into the quarry, then people will change jobs to sort of match what the work is close to their house. So just kind of, you can use a tool here under the gear. There's this tool here, the pathing tool. It'll tell you, if you click on a house, it'll tell you where they work. And if you click on work, it'll tell you where the people live. So you can get an idea there if you got enough housing. All right, those houses built. Let's get the marketplace built here. Some of the fields are building, so in late winter, we should turn some of these farms on. Now we can't man or we can't put stuff in the orchards because we don't. Oh, we do have seeds. Ah. Oh, okay. So easy gives you 2 seeds for farms and 2 seeds for orchards. That's cool. Okay, we're early winter. Let's activate this so we don't forget. Right now, so the difference between crops and orchards are crops will produce right away, assuming you get them planted before spring or during spring. And orchards will take a couple years for the trees to mature, but once they start producing, they'll produce a bit more food. So if you're in a rush, put up crop fields. If you can afford the time, do orchards. And the benefits with orchards is, again, your food types are vegetables, fruit, grain, and protein. So the orchards will give you the capability of growing fruit and also nuts, which would be protein. So diversity is good in that sense. And that's the biggest contributor to your health is your diet. Who knew, right? So I'm gonna go squash there, corn there. Well, I'll make sure we only got one person in each of these. One person could do 120. These are 11 by 11, which is 121. So we're gonna let that rip, and we'll go peach there, plum there, and this can be peach. All right, so I'm kind of checkerboarding it and trying not to have the same crop side by side. I like the way that looks actually, and if you have disasters on, it helps to keep the crops separated, because some pestilence will jump from, if you have two wheat fields, for example, side by side, and one of them gets a pest, the pest will jump to the same crop type. So if you keep them separated, it just helps control outbreaks of pestilence. All right, this is going to take a few minutes to build here, but let's throw a priority on the market and throw a few more roads in just to complicate it. Okay, so important thing here, I've put crop fields in orchards. I haven't put any storage in. So if we leave it without storage, these will actually operate very poorly, because the farmers will be going a long way to take the crops that they harvest somewhere. So what I'm going to do, I'll put a barn over here, bit rougher terrain over there, 3 barns here, and that should be sufficient for storage for the moment. Actually, I think I'm going to orient those a little bit different on this side, so just give me a second here. I'm actually going to do this way. And then I might do something like that. And these ones I'll pause. That's a bit goofy. All right. I'll decide on that later. Let's build these 3, or these 4, I guess. All right, so as soon as the market comes up, we're going to prioritize those barns. You hate squash? Yeah, you bake it with a little bit of brown sugar and butter. Brown sugar and butter will make anything better. Let's go just 1 in here for now. Okay, where's this house we're building up here? Okay. Let's build that first as a priority. Balance this out a bit. Okay. And let's get our school started. And let's actually throw the party across the barns and the school. Kind of. Sometimes the priority tool really helps. Sometimes it's just making yourself feel better. So, okay, we have a trader here. A general goods trader. Okay, cool. Well, I see apple seeds, so right off the bat, I want to take those. I also have stone. Okay, I'm going to leave this one on random. We'll just leave it at never, and we'll let it go. Oh, by the way, if you want to see what what seeds you've got, in your town hall, there's a trade items tab. Just hit that, and you can see there. All right, 7 houses short. Our food graph is still descending though. So I'm not going to be in a rush to build the houses, although we'll need some housing down here for farmers here. Yeah, see here I was talking about the orchards. Those aren't going to produce for a while. They have to grow. But these fields are getting ready to produce here. So you don't have to do anything with these fields. They'll harvest automatically. What is the onus on you, though, is making sure you have storage nearby. You have houses nearby for the farmers. And that the houses for the farmers have a market and a school. Now, if you do all that, then your farms will work really well. If you don't have storage or you don't have houses, good luck, Chuck. Oh, a herbalist built, cool. Um, just put one person in there for now. Make the herb blend at like 1,000. Now, if we were below 5 hearts, what happens is people will go get a herb out of storage and then run to the herbalist, and the herbalist will fix their health up. So we won't see a big train of people running in here right now because their health is pretty good. So, all right, the school's up. Let's get that going. Yeah, I think I got that one in time. There's no students in there. All right, so that's everything we've got built that we designated to be built. So let's see where we are in the housing here. It says 14 short. It's probably more like 10. Our food graph is starting to go up again here. And that would be because we have it's autumn and these fields will be harvesting. So it says we're 10 short. Let's build them all down here. It says we're more than 10 short, but I figured 10 would be good. Is kind of what I meant to say. Oh heck, let's build 12. Now, some people might be saying, why are you building wooden houses instead of stone houses? So they're just cheaper to build and they hold the same number of people. You can upgrade them later to stone houses, which use, you can demolish them. Can you upgrade these ones? Yeah, you can upgrade here to stone houses, which uses quite a bit more resources. And what it does is it uses slightly less firewood. I find at the beginning of the game when resources are challenging, just build wooden houses. And you can upgrade later if you feel like it. Just make sure you have a good log supply and you have lots of choppers going on. And speaking of choppers, we could probably add a few more here. So let's do that while we're looking at it. And we got a trader to look at here too. And what did you bring? Sheepy sheep. Cool. Now those would be really good to get. We don't really have a pasture for them. Well, why don't we, let's get them. All right, now, so the way this works is there's a small pen. Yeah, I think the wells give happiness. I think, yeah. small pen here in the trading port that will hold your animals temporarily. If you leave them there too long, they will die. Okay? So when you buy animals and you don't have a pasture prepared for them, it's a bit of a race against time here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 20 by 20 in, which kind of screws up my farming pattern, but that's okay. And then I'm going to prioritize this like crazy and get that going. Well, I think we can test that here if we go well. Well, it doesn't have a circle, which is interesting. And our happiness is at 4. And, we could put a bunch of wells in and see what that does. Or I could find a place to throw in a cemetery, too. Okay. all those houses actually built, so cool. All right, so I think there's a few that have to be straightened out, though. Looks like I probably overbuilt, so. Okay, that one worked. That one worked. Okay, one of our woodcutters is built. Let's put them on. Bump this up to 2,400. 25 is good. Okay. And there's our pig timer. So let's just get this pasture going and we'll call that the end of episode 3. Get the pasture in and get those sheep going. Now the sheep will be good for wool, for coats. So that's kind of why I jumped on them there. Yeah, Grace is pointing out a good idea that you put a small temporary pasture in, up by your trader or something that you can dump the animals into while you build a bigger pasture. Certainly good way of doing it. All right, this is almost built. Come on now. And again, hitting priority multiple times does nothing other than make you feel better. But I highly recommend it. Right there, pasture's built. So this is a pretty big pasture, so I'm going to put 2 workers in there. And make that sheep. Now, why? Okay, not clear to me why this says we need more pastures. Or more herdsmen, sorry. Yeah, 4 of 4. Okay, I'm just seeing things. Yeah, so this one, the cow pasture's got 2. Okay. And the sheep pasture has 2 now, okay. Okay, we got 6 out of 25 sheep, so we'll get a little bit of wool out of here, but we won't get any meat until it hits 25. Yeah, Grace has another point too. If you play with disaster zone, you want to quarantine pasture. So if you get pestilence in the field, you can move the animals out into the quarantine pasture, shut down the infected one, and then shift them back after. Now, to make that work, what's really good idea is to have standard sized pastures. So pick like 20 by 20 or 15 by 15 or, whatever you want to pick. And you can use that tool on banished.com to pick good size too. So keep standard pasture sizes, keep spare ones for new animals, and always keep a spare one for quarantine would be the way to run with the pastures. All right, so we're going to bring episode 3 of our vanilla tutorial here to a close. I am Derpy Moose 99, and this is Banished. Enjoy.